Hi guys, it's Beth here today at Scrapping for Less, and today I am using the new June 2020 Flavor of the Month kit and giving you a sneak peek of one of the collections as I make a card for you today. And I am using the sketch designed by our very own design team member, Crystal Binkler, and that is the Scrapping for Less sketch challenge number 6, the first sketch on the sketch sheet for this month. And the theme of this month's kit is a walk in the park. So it's a very fun theme, lots of fun designs. And today for my card, I am using collection number 2 and am just using one of the yellow cardstock pieces from the kit to make my card base. And then I took one of the patterns just to make a card mat and cut it down to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, so it leaves a little bit of a yellow border around my mat. And here with the monkey pattern paper, I'm trying to get that kind of banner, triangular banner piece cut that's going to go across the middle. So I struggle trying to figure out the angle and where I should cut it, and it's a really simple cut. I was just trying to get the vision in my head of how I should cut it. So once I get that trimmed down, I decide I do want some brown cardstock behind it just to give it a little bit of separation from the polka dot pattern behind it. So I'm grabbing a piece of brown cardstock and am going to just use that triangular banner piece that I've already cut out of the monkey paper just as my template, and I'm going to trim around it, leaving a little bit of a border. I didn't want a whole lot, I just wanted to have a little bit of separation of the patterns. So I'm making sure that looks okay. And then I'm going to bring in my Nuvo liquid glue and just add a little bit of glue to the back of my monkey banner piece. So collection number 2 that I'm using is called Let's Hang Out, and it's cute little monkey banana themes. So I'm going to get that down, and then I hold it up against my card mat, turn it over and hold it up against my card mat and kind of figure out where the banner is going to hang off of the card mat on the right hand side, and that's where I'm going to put a line of glue there to know that I don't have to go past that point with my liquid glue. And that's just so I'm not wasting the glue or wasting my time adding glue to that pointy section that I don't need to. So I'm going to use my Nuvo glue for this piece as well. And then place that kind of in the center vertically on my card mat. And then once that's down, I'm going to flip it over, my card mat over, and then trim off that point there on the right hand side. Those monkeys are hanging from a banana tree, so it's really cute. Kind of like they're just hanging around. So once I get that trimmed off, I'm going to go ahead and use my ATG to put the whole mat down on the card base. And now I can work on my sentiments. So for my sentiment, I am using the sentiment that comes in the collection number 2, and it says, "Let's hang out 6 feet apart." And I pulled in some Ranger brown ink to stamp out that sentiment. One thing I love about the Scrapping for Less stamps is even though they're brand new, they stamp clearly like every time. I have gotten myself in the habit on new stamps to stamp off first just to make sure it's stamping okay, because sometimes a brand new stamp, it doesn't accept the ink very well, but I have not had that problem with Scrapping for Less stamps. I love that. So I just pulled a scrap of white cardstock here from my desk and am stamping the "Let's hang out 6 feet apart" sentiment down on the bottom. And then I'm going to pull the sentiment from collection number 1, I think. And I'm going to use, it's the "Missing You" sentiment that I'm using from that collection. I thought this would be a fun sentiment. You could send it to a friend you haven't seen in a while. Like, "Missing you, let's hang out, but 6 feet apart." Since we're still dealing with all of the virus issues. So now I'm just going to take that white strip and trim it down a little bit on the end and then cut it down the center to get 2 separate sentiment pieces. And I'm going to add the "Missing You" to the top on the left-hand side and then the "Let's hang out 6 feet apart" down at the bottom right. So I'm going to trim off the outer ends of each piece so that it can go flush up against each side. And then I'm going to add just a little banner, fishtail banner, on the inside part of the sentiment strip. And so I'm going to use my ATG to put these down. And then I can embellish the front a little bit. The card sketch calls for some small circle elements, like one at the top, one right above the banner piece, and then one right below the banner piece. So I pull out the enamel dots that are in this collection and use the larger ones, the 3 larger ones, to put them kind of where the sketch calls for. And then I decide that I want to use some at each of my sentiment strip as well. So I take the 2 of the smallest size, and my nails are usually long enough that I don't have to use a jewel picker or anything to do the enamel dots, but for some reason my nails were causing me problems with that teeny tiny enamel dot on that first one. So get those down, and now my card front is done. Since I'm using a yellow card base, I decided that I do want to pull in a piece of white for the inside so that I can write a message. The yellow is light enough, but I just think it would look a little bit crisper with the white on the inside. So I'm using my ATG for that piece as well. And I think I cut that piece 4 by 5 1/4. And then I have a little strip of that brown polka dot that is the perfect size, the perfect width for the inside of the card. So I'm just going to add that on the inside to add a little bit of decoration. And that is my sneak peek card for you today. So be sure to check out the blog and the channel each day this week for a new peek at this June 2020 Flavor of the Month kit, A Walk in the Park. And then be sure to come back, check in next Saturday for our hop where everyone dives in and has some fun with the kit. Thanks, guys, for your time today, and I hope you're all having a crafty weekend.